Hello, Gov. Okay. Bye.
Muted?
You're unmuted.
Yeah, I'm muted. Okay. Kia ora, good evening and welcome to 0800 Tardis Live. Sorry, things have been a bit turbulent this evening. We've got our video editing computer has decided to sit there and go on a go slow tonight, so it gets there. Coming up in tonight's show, we're going to be talking about the first episode of Doctor Who and get your opinions. We'll also be joined with Dave Roth and Leif Cullen, two admins to 0800 TARDIS later on in the show, and we're also going to hear about some of the experience, what some opinions were. Earlier today, Rochelle Scoons, the owner of Retro Space in Takapuna, went and appeared on Radio New Zealand, Morning Report. Trying to find the right show. It's not the one I tend to usually watch myself. I'm a Checkpoint fan, and she talked about how it was a interesting experience having a female doctor. One of the things you kind of gathered from the person who was interviewing her didn't know much about Doctor Who just by the types of questions that were asked on there. But I think, Rochelle, you pulled off well and you gave some very good opinions on it. I do think the episode was quite well done, and I think it was quite good to see a female touch to the scene. Now, here's something else that has happened a bit earlier tonight. I'm just waiting for it to load. There was... Now, where is it? Just a moment here. There was an article on the Radio Times stated how people outside the UK struggle to understand Jodie Whittaker's accent. Well, we posted and we got some opinions here, and yeah, I think if you sit, some of the opinions that were actually said here definitely sit there and show, well, I wonder who's been making the complaints, because it definitely doesn't sit there and represent exactly what it is. One of the first comments sit there and said, got from Brianna was, lol, what? Question mark. Is this the first time they ever heard of a Yorkshire accent? Or maybe am I watching too much British television? Maybe the person who was complaining probably, first time heard a Yorkshire accent. That's just my opinion. We had a few people who sat there, and there was a bit of response on there. Was it about, one person had closed captions put on and that sort of thing as well. And one of them sat there and said, hi, from Cecilia, hi, I'm French and learned English throughout the series like Doctor Who, and I have to admit, I started understanding different accents during my first year of university. So a few years back, I wouldn't have understood either, if not just the Americans. So that came from Cecilia. Now, another comment from Steve was, Peter was harder to understand for me. Still love him though. Jodie was bang on. So I think from what you're getting here was that. Another one said from Helen, I had no problem. And also another one from Louise, not at all. One from Robert, which sat there and said, why? I think it could do it. We got Karina here. I'm from New Zealand and have no trouble whatsoever understanding her. I found her easier to understand with than Peter's Scottish accent. Of course, my grandma was from Lancashire, so that may have helped. There was also sat there and said here from Kate. Nope, don't struggle with the accent at all. I'm suspecting it was mostly Americans who had trouble. I was watching a US show the other day and it had subtitles for a Scotsman. And then an asterisk on that. Yes, I know some Scotsmen's accents are hard to fathom, even for the other people. But this particular one was mild, built about as mild as you could get. So, I don't know. Donna sat there and said, seriously, after all the Scottish doctors who we've had ever, this is ridiculous. I thought Jodie spoke very well. And two people did like that post, and I'd have to sit there and say, I completely agree. Zoe sat there and posted on here, nope, not at all. I suspect we're going to see plenty of this kind of articles in the near future. It could be true. And I just hope, I hope there isn't going to be an article on the Radio Times tomorrow, sit there and say, 0800 Tardis Live, we couldn't sit there and understand, presenter Sam Summers with his Kiwi accent, and the word Kia ora, who the hell's that word, But hey, if that ends up on Radio Times, I definitely know it's worked. There were one or two lines I didn't catch that was set from Ross. Mike sat there and said, I always have subtitles on. Okay, some situations definitely do that. David sat there, it must be American. I don't know, people must be sitting there and decided that, it's American who's made the complaint. Also from Mark here, I presume the people who complain Americans who need subtitles to any English without a American accent. Oh, that seems to be, actually a good question could be, would Donald Trump need subtitles to watch Doctor Who? And actually it'll be interesting. If Donald, if you are watching, can you sit there and tweet us to say that you're a big fan of the list? Also was sat there and said from James, died with Capaldi, who's the chick? Okay, it must not be a, don't know what to respond to that one. It must be someone who, doesn't like the show necessarily. Whoopsie. This is what happens when you are live, literally accidentally go there. Oh, and Dave Mills, thank you for posting. Shouldn't you be making coffee? Well, I liked, coffee is my main job, presenting to my second job. And I have to admit, if I could do this full-time and paid, I'll definitely be, doing that over coffee. But I have to admit, I do love doing coffee. Now, on to some other news we have here is we are about to experience how do we sit there and say this? We are going to be having a partial merger. We're going to be taking over the Mark Who 42 Facebook page here from New Zealand. Mark Baumgarten has previously ran a audio series from it, and he has decided he's had enough from doing the days, but rather than letting the fans disappear, we're going to be bringing it to the next format. So all you Mark Who 42 fans, we will be your new Mark Who 42 on 0800 Tardis Live, and we'll bring it from our studio here in Kingston, Wellington. What's happening is Mark will be part of more in the background of the new team, taking more of a background thing because he's had enough of the day, but you guys, the fans, probably still want some Doctor Who news. So we're going to sit there and move to the next format. In New Zealand, we had Checkpoint with John Campbell. He brought the show from a radio show to a radio show of pictures. And we're pretty much going down the same line anyway. So it's definitely worth looking into. So we're going to be going through the process between now and Christmas. All 0800 TARDIS episodes will be streaming both live on 0800 TARDIS on Facebook, and also live on Mark Who 42, as well as being live streamed on the 0800 TARDIS YouTube channel and the 0800 TARDIS Productions channel, and also on my personal Facebook page, Sam Summers here on Facebook. So these are changes that are coming along, and we look forward to bringing it more into the future of things to do there. Now, we'll take a quick break here, and we'll get our first guest, Dave Rofe, coming here from Hastings, who will bring us after the break. As we've got another new camera person on here, Felix couldn't make it tonight, Alex is on there. So basically, your one is mute me and then put it onto the still background so you guys can sit there and just wait in patience, and we'll be quickly right back.
Evening. Oh gosh, has my face been able to be seen now? Oh, no. Hmm.
Okay. Welcome back to 0800 Tardis Live. We're back here in the studio, and we will be now. We've got one of our admins here from 0800 Tardis. So, Dave, welcome to the show again. It's been quite a while since it's been on there, but I don't know if we could
Evening.
got you yet.
Skype. There we go. Ish, maybe.
No.
No. Push live. No. It's still interview. Oh, there we go.
Sure.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Okay, that looks a bit like a CPU overload.
Your CPU is overloading.
Wonder what's causing the overload. Weird. Okay, so welcome to the show, Dave. How's it going from good old Hastings?
Oh, you know, mate. Always peachy.
Oh, I know. Gee, it seems to be the night for that sort of thing. So what did you find about the first Doctors in Doctor Who? Not the first Doctor, the first episode of Jodie Whittaker. God, it's one of those nights.
Well, it's interesting. It's definitely a new take on the series, that's for sure.
And
It's just
keep going.
it's just annoying to just like it's different, it's new, but I find it very interesting.
So would you sit there and describe it as like wearing a new pair of shoes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's a good way to sit there and sum it up.
And then saying about a new Sonic too.
Well, yes, yeah, and what do you know, and it looks like your new Sonic was kind of a bit makeshift.
Indeed, you know, including from the Doctor's previous one.
Yeah, it definitely does. Well, I mean, yeah, you've got 12 Dr. Sonic Screwdriver, I've got one of those. So on first performance, so you obviously watched for it. What do you think of the character of Ryan Sinclair?
It's very good how they're using people, how they're trying to pick up people with, like, how they're trying to describe with, you know, disabilities and all that, and bringing that into a show where they can explain something more and have someone with different diversities, you know.
Yeah, and how do you think how Graham is? Was it step grandfather to Ryan? That's quite a weird mix to kind of add to the series, because that was something that kind of did stub me a little bit, is seeing seeing Ryan Sinclair. Well, how the character, how they get there, and all that sort of thing. You know, the types of things. Because it's like, you know, oh, he's not going to call me granddad, he's not going to be doing this, you know, all that sort of stuff. It's kind of like shows how those two characters have got there. Ryan Sinclair's the younger of the three companions, but in the first episode he was the one who found the No, what was it? The alien bowl thingy.
Well, what I found weird is how when the Doctor mentioned the aliens, and he was like, "What aliens? You know, where has he been the past so years that all this other events of Doctor Who's been taking place? Like, what the hell?"
And what do you think about his words where, oh, should I ask all of my old colleagues who were bus drivers? You know, bus drivers know everything.
I found that pretty funny, yeah.
I think that's something we better not sit there and ask a Wellington bus driver at the moment. I don't know if you've heard, but a good joke that you can actually sit there and say in Wellington is, don't ask the bus driver how to get to the zoo, because they won't be able to tell you that you've got to catch a number 1 bus and you change to the 23 at the hospital. Yeah. Can you picture, let's just say metaphorically speaking, probably never happen, but can you picture a room off the TARDIS, because the TARDIS exploded again, so can you picture a room off the TARDIS to be the Chase studio that the show Bradley Walsh hosts? The character, well, his character's Graham, but in real life he hosts the TV show The Chase.
Oh, that's where I recognised him from.
Oh, that's alright. He's also Danny Baldwin from Coronation Street. I remember, God, that's going back actually quite a few years when he was on Coro, because I'm trying to think, I was still living at my mum's, and I actually haven't been there, my mum's like 19 years anyway, and yeah, I remember when he was on Coronation Street as well. There was a couple of TV shows he's been on as well, but yeah, The Chase is his biggest one where he's been presenting.
Go back to, say, not David Tennant's run, Matt Smith's run, where Rory's grandfather, or was it Amy's, where he was brought into it, and he was the grandfather.
Father. Yeah, Brian.
yeah.
I think the character was called Mark Williams, and the actual actor was Brian Williams, but it might be the other way around. Might be the other way around. I do remember when he was in there, and because seeing him from the previous show, he was what was it? The Weasley father in Harry Potter.
Oh,
So you're still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, sweet. I felt like, okay, so you're thinking of ideas just then. Okay, so now at the end of it, what do you think of these up-and-coming guests? I mean, it's scary where some of them are coming from. Like, you got Alan Cummings from, he was on The Good Wife. He also did Spy Kids. I think it was the first Spy Kids movie. He was Fluke.
Oh.
No. So he's going to be on there. But here's the other one that I think was a bit of a shock. Did you ever watch The Good Wife?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, there's no point trying to sit there and tell you. But Chris Noth, which is one of the Good Wife characters, was it? Oh, well, no. He was on The Good Wife, and his character was, what was it? Peter Florrick. He's going to be on it as well. It's scary who's actually coming up. But did you recognise the names of the guests coming up? Well, the guest stars coming up in the Doctor Who season?
No, I actually didn't see any of them, to be honest.
Did you watch the closing credits? God.
No, because yeah.
Now, as a journalist would sit there and say here, did you really watch the Doctor Who episode?
I did.
You did. Okay.
Check your Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know what else we can sit there and be filmed with, but thanks for joining us this evening. You
no
can
problem.
fill us in with what's the latest happening with Doctor Who, throughout the season. And we'll sit there and catch up with you later in the season.
That's alright.
That's alright. Okay, and for Alex, it'll be going back onto camera on, was it close up? So, yeah, thanks for joining us there, Dave. So, coming up after the break, we'll have Leif Cullen coming here live from Auckland. and he will sit there and give us the fill in with what's happening up in Auckland. It sounds like things were going a bit slow on your end.
Yeah.
Technology, yes, it does get frustrating at times. So yeah, we'll sit there and we'll join it after the break.
I'll catch you later, Sam.
He's been muted?
Yeah.
Okay, he's been muted.
Hello. 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 Alexa, bedroom on.
Meters off and going live.
Okay.
Now? No.
The night. We're now joined here by Leif Cullen, who is coming here live from the top end of Northland. No, not Northland, Auckland. God, I nearly sat there and said that you're in Farewell Spitz.
Yeah, well, not close enough.
So what's happening here? Okay, yeah, so, okay. Camera one interview would be the better one. Okay.
I'm getting one.
It's alright, we're just trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
There's a bit of delay.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I wonder if it's got a delay thing on there that's partly causing it. Like, it actually delays changeover. Yeah, that might explain why it seems to feel like it lags a bit. So, Leif, have you watched the first episode of Jodie Whittaker on Doctor Who?
Actually, I have.
Oh, thank goodness, thank goodness. I'm glad you didn't sit there and say, no, I actually haven't, so tell me all about it.
I actually quite enjoyed it, and I actually haven't watched a lot of Doctor Who from all the previous seasons, so I actually thoroughly enjoyed it.
So definitely worth it.
Oh yeah.
How do you rate having a female doctor in the role which has traditionally been held by males, including many Scotsmen?
I think it's a great addition. It's perfect. It's fine. It's good to see a female character finally in Doctor Who.
So you think it's the right time or the right place, or should we have done it, what do you call it, after Christopher Eccleston?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Pretty much.
I mean, yeah.
So now, what do you think of Jodie's character?
I think she nails it. I think she does a pretty good job.
So she was definitely the right person for the role.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And now, something else that you might actually have a laugh with. Did you have trouble understanding her accent?
No, I didn't.
Don't worry, there was an article earlier on with the Radio Times about, what do you call it? People having trouble understanding Jodie Whittaker's Yorkshire accent. And I just think, oh my God, what the hell? You know, yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, how on earth did we end up in that boat? But hey, somehow we did. I mean, you know, some people can't sit there and do it. I also found it was quite earlier. It was like, well, I was half an hour ago a raging Scotsman.
Well, if you're not aware, the companion is Bradley Wallish, who is actually on The Chase. He's the host, so it's a good addition for him to finally be in there. It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, well, it's different. I mean, you know, the other time I remember seeing him on TV, and sorry for the fans, I've already said this, but I remember him being Danny Baldwin of Coronation Street, going back donkeys years ago.
Yeah, he hasn't acted in ages.
Yeah, no, yeah, because that's the other one. And the other one I remember was doing, I can't remember what it was. He did another particular TV show. I can't remember. It was a movie. It was after his Danny Baldwin stint, but before he became host of The Chase. You know, but I still think I still think it's great that he is on The Chase and all that sort of thing. You know, because I mean, it's just one of those shows that you kind of do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've talked a bit about Bradley Welsh's, well, actually something you might be able to relate to, about bus drivers. Did you remember his quote was, hey, I should ask all the old bus drivers at the bus. You know, bus drivers know everything.
I mean, I guess they do in England, but they certainly don't know nothing here.
Well, I mean, you know, currently in Wellington, how do I get to the zoo? You know, I don't know. How do you get to the hospital? I don't know. You know, already coming to Wellington, coming soon to Auckland.
Exactly.
Actually, on that topic, how's your new buses going up and heading up to your place in Orewa? I feel
surprisingly, very well.
Oh, they're going quite well.
Yeah, they are. I think there was one cancellation.
Shit, but I can't a lot better than the Wellington system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, anything that you can sit there and fill us in with? Did Peter email you what's coming up in Auckland Sci-Fi or not?
No, he didn't.
Oh God.
I have no idea what's going on in Auckland Sci-Fi at the moment, but I do know.
I sat there and asked them to sit there and do that, but I mean that happens. I mean, it's just one of those.
I do know that November's going to be a very busy time for Sci-Fi. There's got a couple of movie meetings coming up, so yeah, it's going to be pretty busy for him.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you know, I don't know how he does it. I mean, you know, doing that as well as being our secretary on behind the scenes and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us all the way from Auckland. And definitely see you later on throughout the season. And just put one back on the camera, one close up would be good for me. Yeah, we're back on camera, one close up. It'll take a while to. Okay, so yeah, I'll definitely sit there and figure out what. Okay, yeah, I think I know what's happened there. Is there's a little fade time, and yeah, it's a bit frustrating because I mean, kind of sit there and look there. Now, one of the things we do have to sit there and say here is, if you are in New Zealand, please sit there and watch Doctor Who on TVNZ on demand. Now, I am not here on behalf of TVNZ to sit there and do this, but I think it's great that TVNZ have got the rights to Doctor Who, and they have sat there and made it available for you guys as soon as UK do it. And if you haven't watched it yet, you can watch it on Channel 2 at 7:30 PM, or the other option is you can go onto TVNZ on demand and watch it. Now, if you're watching from overseas, I would recommend watching it on your local state broadcaster in your area, or sit there and watch it on Netflix or online as appropriate in your country. And I would also like to thank TVNZ to sit there and do this, including we actually had a bit of interaction with the TVNZ Facebook page, TVNZ on demand. We sat there and, you know, put a post on there. I actually responded to one of the comments in there, so we're quite pleased about that, and that sort of thing. Now you can join us again next Tuesday at hopefully at 8 p.m, not at 8:15, because we're running a bit late tonight, thanks to some of the difficulty issues, but these things happen and we'll sit there and do this. So I would like to thank the fans from 0800 Tars here, the fans from Mark Who 42, and also my personal followers on Facebook and the subscribers from Facebook Live. Thank you for getting there, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys around on the next 0800 Tars Live. And remember, you can sit there and leave comments and be part of the show. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night.